Oreos, sour Oreos. Sometimes you go down to the local shop and you pick up some Oreos, classic cookie. Sandwich cookie is what they call it. It has cookies. It has 2 cookies and a layer of sweet white cream between them. Delicious cookies. Perfect with milk. You can eat them with milk, and you can dunk them in the milk too. But sometimes you get them, and you open up the package of the Oreos, and, well, there's something off. The cream is sour. You take a bite, and the cream is sour. It's just not right. How can the Nabisco Corporation do this? That's why I'm ordering a federal military audit of the Nabisco Oreo factories to investigate this dire situation.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and friendly guy working for the Cheech and Mob, Stairmaster.
Oh, hi, you can call me NoHo Cell.
Hey, what's going on?
Get it? Because it's NoHo and, like, Gundam Cell.
Yeah, they're combined.
Isn't that clever?
So, in that case, does that mean, like, you're NoHo celibate?
No. What? No.
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Yes. I guess that is what that means.
Okay. And with us, as always, of course, our other co-host and...
Yeah, I'm saving myself for marriage with NoHo Hank.
Well, of course, who isn't?
The ultimate male.
With us, as always, of course, our other co-host and egocentric acting coach, Kiorein.
Swanson, when you start this introduction, I'm just hearing nothing from you. What do you want out of this podcast?
Well,
what are you really trying to get out of this? You say, "Oh, welcome to TV Tuners," or whatever it is you say. Why do you say that? Can you explain that to me?
I'm welcoming the...
No, you can't. You can't, because you don't want anything from this podcast. You don't even want to have a podcast. You want to go out and go down and just fish for a living, and I know it.
Damn, he's right.
I see you eyeing that spear. That
It's true, I
harpoon.
want to fish the...
You think about how you can
fish
get...
the way the ancestors fished.
Get out of my class.
Damn. Kio's podcasting course is rigorous.
But I really want a podcast. I really want it.
Podcast. You're wrong, Kio. I'm going to show you how to podcast.
Good,
Hello.
good. You said.
Welcome to TV Tuners.
Now we're talking.
I love you, Swanson. I love you, Swanson. You know I had to do that. I'm not being abusive.
Swanson, I know that was really, really raw for you and very personal, very insulting, but...
And now we're going to need you to do that some more.
And also, you're paying for this. Also, you're paying.
You're paying full boat. All right. Well, yeah, welcome to another exciting edition of TV Tuners, the podcast all about TV. And we got a doozy of an episode for you guys this week. So I want to start right off with something, a question that was posed to me today by my little cousin, and I think it's a question that I've been thinking about it since he posed it to me, and I want to know what you guys think.
Okay.
Do hot dogs grow?
I got a hot dog that grows.
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey, zip.
Hey. Hey, whoa.
Hey, whoa, hey.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Marone.
none of
Hey,
that
guys.
here.
Kio here with a quick little announcement for the podcast. If any of Stairmaster's comments made you feel uncomfortable, please reach out to me personally via email. And if they made you feel very comfortable, please check out the TV Tuners Podcast OnlyFans account. We have exclusive content starting at only $2.99 a month.
Oh no!
But if you get into the platinum tier for $9.99 a month, you get even more exclusive content.
What's that URL?
It's onlyfans.com/TV Tuners Podcast, and this is a real account that actually exists. Trust me.
Don't ask what TV stands for.
You don't want to know.
On the OnlyFans.
I guess on a purely technical level, though, a hot dog does grow until it is no longer... I mean, a hot dog itself doesn't grow, but the thing that it was before did grow.
No, that's not a hot dog. That's an animal.
Was your cousin thinking that a hot dog is like a plant where it's like there's agriculture involved?
But he did not elaborate further, and when the question was brought up again, he seemed to have forgotten it had ever been said.
I'm like imagining Tropius from Pokemon, but instead of bananas, it's hot dogs.
I believe...
Maybe that's like the Aloha
I asked
version.
him again if he had figured out whether or not a hot dog grows, and he pondered that thought for a second and then said, I think I have to watch a video on it, and then left.
I think that's...
That sounds too much.
I don't know if that's the
and also
Alolan version of Tropius, but I can imagine it being a paradox form, like the ancient Tropius. It's called like Great Dog or something.
Indianus.
But it is a great, sort of reminder of the beautiful mind of a child, where you could in their eyes, you could just find a tree that has hot dogs in it, or perhaps pull them up from the earth.
Could be real. Could be real.
Going to the country, gonna have myself some hot dogs.
Hot dogs come from a can.
Hot dogs are canned sometimes.
I get viscerally disgusted at the thought of canned meats.
I try not to think about where all of our food comes from, personally speaking.
The best way to live.
Imagine like a box full of miserable animals that are gonna die soon. Just think about that. And then,
well, you could say the whole thing about the planet Earth.
Planet Earth is a beautiful, nice, clean place.
Yeah, but it's also full of miserable animals.
It's less of a box, though, and more of like it's like a jar.
Well,
okay.
some people do have a certain theory about the box Earth.
Boxed Earth theory? We're going to get into that one today.
You do not believe in 4 Earths because you are educated, stupid, and evil.
Listen, just think about it this way. You ever heard of the 4 corners? How could that happen?
Ooh. Oh.
Wouldn't there be 6 corners? Or wouldn't there be 8 corners if
How could there be any corners at all if it's a circle?
True, circle's cornerless.
Right.
No corners.
Never mind that
Do cubes have corners, or are those called like vertices? Or
I mean, I think mathematically you'd call them vertices, but like they are corners.
Yeah.
If you know how many corners a cube has, email us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
We'd like to know.
But yeah, it seems as if the hot dog question will be one that we will have to linger on for the rest of our days.
I don't think so. I feel like
I'm
we
gonna
settled
invent
this.
a hot dog tree. I'm gonna be the first gazillionaire.
I think they're going to crucify you for something like that.
Crucify me like on a giant hot
Geniuses
dog.
are never appreciated in their time.
True. Yeah, they're going to crucify you on a hot dog.
They're going to turn Keo into a hot
Oh.
dog. They're going to build a giant gas station microwave and put Keel and impale Keel
Yeah,
on it.
And then like a giant is going to come by and pick you out of the lineup
Well,
after you've turned all like wrinkly and brown.
maybe.
Is this like end times happening now, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've entered
anymore.
Berserk World.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
the hot
eclipse
dog
has
demon
begun.
shows up and
I mean, that sounds pretty hardcore. I would get on board if I wasn't dying in the process.
No, yeah, sorry.
And now I'm just imagining like Void telling Griffith, "Do you truly know where hot dogs come from?" And that's what makes him do the
He's
sacrifice.
like, does a hot dog grow?
His eyes widen in shock as he
All right.
visualizes a hot dog
Okay.
growing on a vine or something.
Okay, so since we answered that question, does that mean we don't have to answer an email?
No, of course, as always, if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at our email address, tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read them aloud. What's that email address, Kiorein?
I think it was TV Tuner's Pondcast. You say Pondcast or Podcast?
No, we said Pob.
Podcast. Okay. What is that?
That's right.
Why do we have like such a stupid email address?
Listen, don't ask me. All the other ones are taken.
It was the cheapest.
Yeah, we were paying for our Gmail account. You could be like Geo, who sent us this email. It's just been retoked. Fellas, you know that Lethal Weapon where that guy is like, I'm getting too old for this shit? Well, what if he was like, I'm getting too high as fuck for this shit? Regards, and have a good show, Geo.
That'd be very irresponsible of him, considering his station and...
In the time in which he was running, in the time in which he was in his position.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you should only get high when you are, safe and sound at home. Personally.
True.
Yeah, and when there isn't a bomb on your toilet.
But yes. I think, actually, it would probably be real bad to get high while there's a bomb on your toilet.
You should not be lighting anything near a bomb.
That's what they say. It's one of the first things they say about bombs. Other
Well,
than get out of the room.
Sometimes you light a stick of dynamite and throw it towards the bomb.
Well, that is what bomb squad guys do when they can't defuse it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got two bombs, and they offset each other.
Well, the bomb
That's
just
how
goes
bombs
off. The bomb just goes off, and then you die because you were standing right next to it. You wanted to see the explosion up close.
No, you just get covered in a bunch of ass.
Yeah.
Ash.
Ass.
Why did I... I'm developing Tourette's, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess if the bomb is on your toilet and it explodes, you'll be covered in ass as well.
Can you imagine like a bomb squad guy who wants to see the explosion up close?
Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on,
it's like the priest from Sunshine.
I really gotta watch this. And he's in he's like in full metal regalia with just like a little visor so he can see.
He still dies.
Yeah, just like the priest in Sunshine.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Or the captain.
Right.
I don't think they had a priest on the ship.
Sunshine's the one where they all go sun mad or whatever.
That's the one where they have to blow up the sun because it's going out.
Oh, okay. So sort of
And
like
Chris Evans is in it.
sort of like defusing a bomb with a stick of dynamite.
How's that solve the problem?
Well, you see, the sun is full of hydrogen, Keo. So if you heat the hydrogen up, it'll fuse together,
Okay.
and that will start a chain reaction, making the sun hotter.
I guess maybe I'm no scientist. It seems like if the sun's going out, you got to go find a new sun. Personally, that's what I would do.
It's also what I would do.
Gotta find a new sun. It's nice to know that we won't have to worry about that one problem.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, we don't live that long.
Yeah.
I know. If we live that long, Stairmaster would be like fused to a chair or something, like a hovering chair.
Well, I'll be like MODOK
Yeah.
at that point.
The machine organism designed only for watching TV.
Yeah.
So you would just be a head, or
I'd be like a head with little stubby arms.
I was picturing just like
Robot
a
arms.
guy who's like completely fused to a chair that hovers.
Is MODOK shit?
I'll be like the Raven from Game of Thrones.
Do they ever expand?
Not to be confused with the Raven from Barry.
Do they ever expand on MODOK's biology lore?
Yes, countless times, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never, it's never come up, and since he showed up in Marvel and it was like a one-off joke.
Oh,
I think that's what.
that's beautiful its own way.
That's what happens. He shows up in Ant-Man and everyone's like, look at this fucking freak. And that's it.
Well, that's how all great comic book characters get started, usually.
Anyway, it's now time for a question near and dear to my heart. What'd you guys watch this week? Anything fun, exciting?
Oh, I watched
Watch
Barry.
Barry.
I watched most of Barry season 4.
We probably shouldn't talk about that
I finished watching Victory Gundam.
Okay.
Was it good?
It was very.
Uh-oh.
It was very something.
Uh-oh.
Something not good?
Like I feel like Tomino was challenging himself to find ways to kill off characters,
Oh, no.
like in the most cruel way possible. And then he was introducing new characters just to kill them off in that same episode.
Why would he do this? You think he was upset?
I think he was. Yes, he was very depressed and wanted to kill Gundam as a franchise.
Oh.
Which is also probably why the last shot of the show is the Gundams abandoned in the snow while everyone else moves on with their lives.
Oh, my God. So that's the tune out?
It's a tune-in.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
You gotta watch it. It's the final. It's the finale. It's the final show of Universal Century. Except for Turna. And except for G-Savior. And except for Reconquista and G.
Uh-huh.
It's the end of the Universal Century. Oh, and except for Gaia Gear.
Sounds like Universal Century never ended.
No. It's our people's Vietnam.
Universal Century never ended. It's just a myth that they tell you.
Like, the third to last episode just has this... introduces this lady commander of, like, the bad guys' Angel Halo Guard Division.
Okay.
And for some reason, the entire unit is staffed by beautiful women.
Ooh, nice.
And so, like, the insane rival lady's like, listen, you gotta kill the Gundam by getting out of your mobile suits and going at him in bikinis with bazookas.
Oh.
And they all get brutally massacred.
Okay.
One of them gets, like, vaporized with a beam
Was
saber.
she trolling?
She was trying to, like, drive him insane. Because then immediately she gets in, like, a mobile suit of one of his comrades and tries to sneak attack him in that while having it drift at him.
Did that work?
Like, I could spend, like, an entire 45 minutes just talking about this character.
It's a bold strategy that did not pay off, which means that it's bad.
Like, 20 times more insane than Quest Pariah.
Oh,
30 times.
How can he be that much more insane than Quest?
Yeah, it's a valid question.
Anyways. Yeah, that's what I watched. Deal with it.
Well, I'm going to deal with it in my own way. I'm going to cope.
Okay.
I watched some stuff.
Uh-oh,
I'm
here
gonna
we
talk
go.
about it.
Oh, here we go. Swanson's watching stuff again.
I watched a little movie starring one Nicolas Cage. The unbearable weight of massive talent.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you watched Flash. Whatever the movie's called.
Oh, The Flash, that he makes a cameo in as Superman?
Yes.
Allegedly. I don't think that's out yet. Anyway, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is a sort of meta movie where Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage. And he's an actor who people don't take seriously because he's a meme. And
Sold.
He gets hired to go to a drug dealer's birthday party, or what is a suspected drug dealer, and from there things get wild. It's mostly okay. It definitely, if it didn't have Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal in it, it would be a bad movie probably. It's fine. there's copious references to Nicolas Cage movies throughout it. And it's a lot of it is just like, remember how good your movies were? Anyway, it's a movie that starts with someone stoned on their couch watching Con Air and ends with Nicolas Cage with his family watching Paddington 2.
Aww.
So it's all right. It's not bad. I guess I'd give it like a light tune in if you really like either Pedro Pascal or Nicolas Cage. The movie really is at its best when the two of them are together.
How often are they together?
For about half the movie.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Do they ever high five?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
Do they kiss?
No, but Nicolas Cage does kiss himself.
Okay, good enough.
He sees there's an internal version of himself that's younger called Nicky Cage that talks to him.
Okay.
He plays more like the memeable Nicolas Cage. It's good. It's a fun enough movie.
Is it like a quick kiss, or is it like a strong like make out?
Oh, his younger self is making out with him for like a good minute.
Okay, good.
And then at the end, he says, "I'm fucking Nicolas Cage."
It's pretty good.
But yeah, good stuff. The best scene in the movie, other than that, happens in the middle when him and Pedro Pascal take acid together, and they go on a trip.
All right. I'm sold.
Fun movie. I also watched Ben Affleck's latest directorial film, Air. What if shoes were a movie? What if they made a movie about a shoe?
Did they answer the question successfully?
Yeah, imagine the movie Moneyball.
They made a movie about the shoe.
I don't know if Keo watched Moneyball with us. I think it was just me and Sarah.
Yes, he did. Oh, yeah, he did not.
I did.
No, Keo's seen Moneyball.
I did see Moneyball.
Okay, imagine the movie Moneyball, but it's about Nike coming up with Jordans.
And that's just as controversial.
Yeah.
As on base percentages. Like, I saw, did I tell you how I saw the trailer? And I was like, oh, they're going to make a Michael Jordan movie.
But he's not in it.
And I was like, whoa!
Yeah, so that's the other thing. This is a movie about Michael Jordan's shoe. But Michael Jordan is shown, the back of his head is shown, and he never talks except for the very end. Because Michael Jordan
they don't have to pay Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan is extremely protective of his likeness. His parents are all over the movie. But he is barely there. They play it up too, because his mom is like, "You will not be talking to Michael." And at the very end, Matt Damon, after he secures the deal for Nike, the young upstart shoe company that definitely wasn't already making billions of dollars by this time.
Oh yeah, isn't Mr. Ozarks in this?
Mr. Ozarks is in this as another guy who works with Matt Damon. Chris Tucker is also in it as another guy who works with Matt Damon. Ben Affleck plays scumbag Phil Knight, who they try to make seem like a nice guy, which is hilarious. They end the movie with the classic, like, they show like, oh, these people, like, this happened to this person and this happened to this, and all they say about Phil Knight is Phil Knight has donated billions of dollars to charity. They don't say what charities.
Oh, the National Endowment of Racism.
Close. But yeah, he all of this is to say that the movie, despite all of its numerous flaws, was still kind of okay.
Kind of okay.
Well, it has a great cast, and the cast does a really good job of making it seem like, for a moment in about the middle of the film, you're like, yeah, I want to see this extremely popular shoe brand win. And then you remember it's Nike at the end, and you're like, oh, yeah.
But you know why they're making these movies, right? Because it's cheaper to make biopics about these middle management figures. And it reproduces the social order.
Yeah, I'm just confused why Ben Affleck chose to direct it.
Money.
Huh? True. We do see his feet. I'm sure that helps something for somebody. I
If
get.
it helps you, let us know. tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
How do I get this? I'm a foot guy.
Oh well, it's very readily available. In fact, if you go on Letterboxd, it's the banner image for this movie.
Okay.
Why? Why letterbox?
But
Oh yeah, he does have his shoes off all the time in that trailer.
yeah, because Phil Knight apparently always had his shoes off in his office because he's a monster. Anyway, it's an alright movie. It's just there's a lot of weird choices that the actors have to try and overcome. Like the said, Michael Jackson only shows up, or
Michael
Jordan.
Jackson.
Michael
There's a
Jackson
scene
also
where-
doesn't appear in this film, much like Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, they're making a Michael Jackson biopic, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure that'll also gloss over some things.
Well, if I was making it, I would end it after the Pepsi commercial and imply that the government had him killed and replaced when he was hospitalized.
Oh, okay.
So you would just blame, just cause dangerous misinformation to spread through your film.
I think that would only happen starring Baz Luhrmann's Michael Jackson biopic. Anyway, I would give Air probably a tune out. Tune in, I guess, if you really like sneakers, I guess.
No.
Yeah, no, just go watch Tucker the Man and his car instead.
Yeah. Chris Tucker's also fun in the movie. Don't look up his flight logs.
Wait, is that Chris Tucker or Chris? Yeah, it's Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Anyway, that was it for me.
And what did you watch this week, Keo?
Oh, I watched Barry.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. How was that?
It was pretty. I don't know. It was all right.
What do you mean it was all right? I think it's a very funny and entertaining show.
Keo was yawning throughout some of it.
You know.
You know what?
I just, it's just another Dexter.
Oh, fuck you! Suck my dick from the back.
Imagine if the show had started, and we're not talking about the show yet, by the way. We're just
But imagine the show that we're not talking about.
Yeah, imagine Barry started with like the internal monologue of him being like, "I'm just so tired."
Oh, I would buy the Blu-rays if they had a Barry internal monologue commentary track.
Like, it shows Barry and he's looking at the hole that he was just put in that guy's head, and he's like, "It's empty inside, just like me."
Man, I'm good at this job, but it doesn't really fulfill me very much.
Well, you see, it's a testament to Bill Hader's performance that you can tell what's going on in his internal monologue through his performance.
True.
That's my uncle.
It's mostly,
He takes care of me, but he only really wants me to do one thing, and that's to kill people.
Imagine like the scene where he's doing the acting scene with the guy he has to kill, and it's just his internal monologue being like, "They're clapping. I've never heard that sound in my life. Someone cares."
The last time someone cheered me on was when I took a life in Afghanistan.
Anyway, let's get to the news,
right.
huh, guys?
Has anything happened?
Hey, what happened?
Well, you guys know how one of the things we love on the podcast is reboots or revivals of shows, especially if they've already sort of run their course.
Yeah.
Perhaps even twice.
Well, worry no longer, because Futurama is officially back, baby, with all of its original cast.
I thought they killed Bender.
Well, originally, when they were planning on working on the revival of this show about a year ago, John DiMaggio was not going to be a part of it due to pay negotiations. But I guess they managed to fix that, because the full cast is here and ready for the show to return on July 24th.
Yeah,
Everyone's there.
I was real hankering for more Futurama because I definitely watched all of the last season they put out.
Yeah, when it came on Comedy Central, of course, everyone loved everything they did there, and there was not any sense of, man, this show is run its course. The Simpsonization definitely didn't happen at any point on that program.
Don't you mean Flanderization?
I
No.
guess. I mean,
No.
it's just they ran along like The Simpsons.
It's a more like broad thing with The Simpsons, where the show just generally, sucks.
Yeah. Except every now and again, someone will randomly come into like your conversations and be like, "The Simpsons is good again."
Yeah, I saw an episode of the season 27, and it was actually good.
It was funny, guys. It was funny. Lady Gaga showed up, and she was funny.
Okay, nobody said that, did they?
No. I'm sure someone did at some point, but no. But there are occasionally people who will just show up and be like, "The Simpsons is good again," and that's never the case.
I have an announcement to make.
Yeah,
The Simpsons is good again.
and everyone just goes back to doing their regular thing. But in the case of Futurama, I'm assuming it'll be good news, everyone.
The dead speak.
Oh, that should be how they start the new season. Anyway, yeah, their 10 episodes are coming our way. For season 11. That's right, there were 10 seasons before. If you lost track of,
I did lose
Futurama.
track.
Now the whole original cast is going to be there. Everyone you love. So
Swanson,
means all
you
of your
keep saying
favorite
that like I'm
characters
supposed to
will
be
there.
impressed that they're bringing the cast back. I'm
70-year-old Billy
Can you
West
even
will be
name
there.
the cast?
At this point in time, Billy West is now as old as the Professor. When he started, he was closer to Fry's age.
Yeah, I think it's a sign that we've all lived too long.
No, I haven't lived long enough.
You gotta see the series finale of Barry.
It's true. Airing tonight as we record this.
It's probably already aired.
But, yeah. I got okay, so I have the episode titles for the 10 episodes for this Futurama revival. Do we want to hear them?
Yes, I want to hear them.
Okay. Episode 1, The Impossible Stream.
Impossible Stream. Okay.
So presumably it would be about streaming services or something.
Probably.
Okay. Children of a Lesser Bog.
I don't care. What does that even mean? What did bugs?
I can't even tell you what that would be about.
What's it a reference to? It's got to be a play on something.
Children of a Lesser God, I believe.
Oh.
How the West was 1010001.
Oh, I get it.
I get it.
This is the one that makes me the most nervous. Well, scratch that. I read some more. This is the one that makes me the third most nervous. Parasites Regained.
Uh-oh.
Referencing the infamous episode of the show where Fry gets parasites and gets smart. Classic episode.
Why are they rehashing?
They ran out of ideas.
Oh, good point.
Related to items you viewed is one.
Oh, some of the algorithm.
Algorithm at it again.
They're getting real topical with modern things.
Alright, what's the next one, Swanson?
I know what you did next Xmas, which will be a Christmas episode.
Okay, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this in 2023?
It's a Christmas episode that's airing in August 28th of this year.
Of course.
Okay, now this is the one that makes me second most worried. Rage
Okay.
Against the Vaccine.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, let's go, baby.
Yeah, that's no good. And okay, this is the one that makes me the most worried.
Okay.
You prepare yourself for this. This is coming out, by the way, September 11th of this year.
Okay.
Zap gets canceled.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. I'm done. Let's get the fuck out of here.
That's just
Next
the name of the
segment.
episode.
Fuck you. Family Guy did that like 10 years ago.
So are they actually? They sat down and they were like, "Man, we should crack out another season of Futurama." They're like, "Well, we really need to get into the current zeitgeist."
Right, because
you know,
all of the episodes that people remember and love about Futurama dealt with current events.
right. Like the focus of the show was on current events. There weren't just little jokes on the side about current events. They were just about current events. You know, like when they go to another planet and there's aliens and stuff. We were like, wow, I can really relate this to 2012.
The war in Iraq.
Yeah. Like, I guess the closest thing to like a classic episode that people remember of Futurama that's based on around current events is the one with global warming, but that's like a decade spanning event. So anyway, there's 2 more episodes left. Are you guys ready for this?
I don't care. Segment over.
The Prince
No.
and the Product.
Mm-mm.
And the last one, perhaps the vaguest of the 10, All the Way Down.
I don't care.
So I can tell that Astaire is real excited to get in on this Futurama reboot. Can't wait for us to watch it on the show.
I want a Futurama Rick and Morty crossover, please.
With Justin Roiland, since he's been vindicated.
Yeah, he's innocent. He didn't do anything wrong.
He can go on. Maybe he can be on the episode where Zap gets canceled.
Yeah,
Like, give Zap some lessons.
yeah. Zap can meet Rick, and Rick could tell him about how basically talk to the camera about how being canceled is so stupid. And since Rick is like a super he's like a genius guy, then he's going to be correct on all of his statements on the matter.
Whoa, it's Rick from Rick and Morty.
Hello, Zap Brannigan from Futurama.
That's just how they refer to themselves. Anyway, I'm sure we're all looking forward to whatever that becomes. Anyway, let's move on, huh? I'm tired.
Yes.
I'll lay in bed. I feel, you know what I'm feeling like right now? I'm feeling a lot like Barry.
Do 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 do.
That's right, folks. We watched a show, and now we're going to talk about it. Barry is the hit HBO show about an assassin who learns to take up acting. So
Learns to take up acting.
that's right. All right, let me redo that.
No, that's true. That is true of the show.
It was more of a decision than a learning.
No.
Barry is the hit HBO show that follows Barry Berkman, played by Bill Hader, a U.S. Marine and veteran of the Afghanistan War who works as a hitman. Lonely and dissatisfied with his life, he travels to Los Angeles to kill a target and finds a new sense of purpose when he follows his target into an acting class. Did Barry give you the inspiration you needed, or did it leave you sad and alone?
Oh, yeah. The show was so good. I can't now.
Were you trying to...
I lost the NoHo Hank.
Okay.
I was trying to do NoHo Hank. He's very difficult. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
What a great actor.
What a great
guy.
What a great guy in general.
He'd make a terrific training partner. Too bad he's on the side of evil.
Too bad he's on the side of the Chechens.
Why do you keep saying Chechens?
Isn't that how you say it? Chechens?
No,
Chechen.
it's Chechen. Yes.
Chechens.
It's a great nation. It's a nation.
Big nation of Chechnya.
Chechnya, yeah.
Chechnya. How do the people of Chechnya think? What do they think of Barry? They big fans.
I think they love it.
I think they're
Yeah,
they're so happy that we're talking about them and
how Italians love The Sopranos.
and representing their culture.
Yeah. Anyway, we watched 2 episodes of Barry, the first 2 in honor of the show airing its series finale. Now we all have different histories with the show Barry. For instance, Stairmaster has watched all of it.
Except for the finale that aired while we were recording this.
Yeah. For instance, I have not caught up with it yet. I watched the first 2 seasons, and then they had a big break.
Shame.
And I lost track. And then I had other stuff. And Keo, I don't believe you watched any of it until today, right?
Yeah, I watched 4 episodes though instead of the 2 you told me to watch.
Oh, so you were hooked.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I got nothing else to do. Swanson's out at some kind of...
Yes, Keo's like, yes, sold, out the card.
Yeah, Swanson was out at some kind of shindig today, so he wasn't able to record on demand. So I was like, hey, I got nothing better to do. I'll go ahead and watch Barry.
What a delight, unlike Victory Gundam.
It's true. No, Barry does not kill any women with in bikinis with laser swords.
And also, Barry experiences character development, unlike Uso Irwin.
True.
Though I think Uso has a higher kill count than Barry.
Is that better or worse?
Worse.
Okay. According
to Barry, the show.
Yeah. So to get into the first episode here, Make Your Mark. We open up just right away with a dead dude. Just so you know what the show is all about.
Yeah, they don't waste any time.
There's no jokes. He's just cleaning up after killing the dude.
Yeah.
And he sighs and exits his hotel room.
We
don't know what the dude did. We don't see him getting killed.
Arguably, there's no joke until Fuchs shows up.
Yes. And we get a montage of him traveling home, getting rudely woken on the plane ride.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a joke. So there you go, there's one.
Wow. Kind of a gag.
Yeah, it's a gag. He makes a funny face.
Yeah, but sad music is playing.
True.
So is it really fun? Should we really be laughing?
Should we be laughing at
Fellas, have you ever been taking a nap when the sun shined on your face and it woke you up?
Yeah.
My man laughing because he know.
Fellas,
you're just like Barry.
You ever been woken up naturally in the morning by the sun?
And you've pondered the beauty of God's great natural world.
Yeah, and woken up feeling energized and ready to start your day.
Fellas, you ever been woken up by your assassin handler who's already entered your house while you were sleeping and just been sitting there?
Yeah. Yeah, he passes out. Like, he leaves the racing game on.
True. Yeah, that's probably not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, he lives in this podunk apartment somewhere in, like, Ohio, Stan.
Yeah, Cleveland. The worst, objectively, the worst big city to live in Ohio. But yeah, Fuchs shows up, played by the wonderful Stephen Root. He shows up and he's like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? How's my pal doing?"
Yeah, he would easily be contender for best actor if it wasn't for Bill Hader and NoHo Hank.
Yeah, I don't trust this Fuchs guy. I don't.
Oh, really?
What makes you not trust him? He seems like a nice guy.
He comes into your house while you're sleeping and stares at you.
He tells Barry that he's like he's a worthless pile of garbage. The only thing he can do is kill. I think in the first scene, basically.
Yeah, and then it does it even more in the next episode.
Yeah. So, Barry, what have I told you? Your purpose is for killing.
Hey, don't think, just kill. Hey, buddy. Hey, you're thinking again.
Barry, you better quit that.
Better quit all that
Stop
thinking.
using that head muscle and start using that stabbing muscle.
But yeah, Barry's like, "What are you doing here, buddy? What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I got a mission for you, buddy. It's time to go to sunny Los Angeles. It's kind of drab over here. You could use a little."
She phrases it as though he's trying to help him. Hey.
Yeah,
I think you need a change of pace. So why don't you go do more work for me someplace else?
Ready for a sunny vacation in Los Angeles? I got you a sweet ride.
It's like this beater car.
Also, he has to drive 2 hours to the airport.
Yeah, and also he mails him...
Because that was the cheapest option.
No, it was safe. It was for safety. Also, he mails him a gun with no silencer.
Via FedEx.
Yeah. We do get introduced to NoHo Hank, who is a standout.
Yes.
He says that they have to go have their meeting out on the deck because his girls are having a sleepover. They're watching their Jessie.
Yeah.
They're watching...
Which we do get to see a clip of.
Watching you, Swanson. That's your show.
It is, yeah, true. It's spelled exactly how
it's
you
based
spell
off
my
of
name.
Swanson's life.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jessy, yes.
There's a pretty great scene during this meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Where earlier Fuchs has told Barry to mention stabbing someone in the nuts because he thinks that Goran, is that how you say his name? Goran?
Yes.
Goran, the leader of the group here, would find that interesting. And so Barry says, I could stab him in the nuts if you want. And they just...
I love how
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely just get freaked out.
They're just like, what?
Hank is like, no!
I think that
can you shoot him?
The freakiest part about that was his delivery of that, though, where he's just kind of like, he doesn't want to talk about it clearly, but he says it anyway. It's like, I can stab him in the nuts?
He doesn't even say nuts, he says I could stab him in the nut.
Oh, yeah.
Which implies that he'll hit only one.
He's got precise attacks. What can you say?
It's true.
I like Barry because every time Barry's having a social interaction with someone, it kind of conveys what I feel in those situations.
Yeah, minus the murder.
A shambling automatron that's just like drooling the words out.
Yeah, and so Barry is tasked with targeting this guy Ryan. Who
I like how NoHo Hank has likes to advertise their mafia business.
Yes.
There's a little backstory.
Also, he's very impressed with his camera, which comes into play later.
Oh yeah, he shows him the footage of the Mark fucking the boss's wife.
And yeah, the boss is very incensed by this.
Yeah, he feels the need to play the clip for Barry for a long time.
He's just really proud of the camera. I do really love the shot of you just hear the sound of the tape playing and Barry is just blankly staring at the teeth.
What else would you do?
I would probably react.
This is the sort of thing I have, like, not quite nightmares, but, dreams where your anxieties manifest.
Of someone just playing a sex tape for you?
Yeah, but the mafia is playing the sex tape to you, and you gotta say the right thing or they'll kill you.
Yeah, and it's the boss's wife, and he's sitting right there.
Man,
and also you're late for school, and you didn't do the project.
And you're in your underwear.
And also you're 30 years old, and you're still in high school.
Imagine this. You've shown the sex tape, and then you have a multiple choice response to give.
You get the Paragon and the Renegade option.
Yeah, it's like you say,
the Paragon option just ...
Yeah, like the Renegade option is, wow, she's hot.
But yeah, Barry decides to he tracks down this guy Ryan who's taking an acting class.
Hey, that's me.
And Barry sort of like he's sitting there scoping it out for a bit, and then he hears a lady giving like an impassioned monologue, and he thinks someone's just arguing with someone.
I think he's just like, what the fuck?
And he walks over and he just stares blankly at this lady, and she's like, you ruined my scene, and leaves. And he walks in and he sees her give this scene, and it gets interrupted by Gene Cosanow, who played amazingly by Henry Winkler,
aka the Fonz.
The Fonz himself. Gene interrupts and is like, pretty much runs her down, until she gets mad and fights back, and he's like, "Now use that!" And she gives a great performance. Great in the standard of it's an okay performance.
Well, she's putting legitimate emotion into it.
Yeah, I like the way that the show portrays these acting classes, which is that the majority of the people in them are bad. And doing like just the baseline, like maybe like the best the best possible person in this is like Sally, who is just mediocre.
I think Ryan's okay.
I mean, he's doing a Jamaican character.
I mean, that's why I'm saying he's okay, all things considered.
But yeah, he. She gives this performance, everyone claps, and then he comes up and he's like, I had to do that. Sorry, I had to do that to you.
Yes, I agree. You had to tear into me personally about a real exchange we had.
And Ryan comes up to Barry and he's like, "Listen, the guy that I was supposed to do this with isn't here. You're doing it with me." So he brings Barry on stage.
Does that guy ever come back?
I don't think. But yeah, Barry, he brings Barry on stage. And it's a smash cut to him with a Jamaican wig on, doing a scene from
Chinese food.
They're doing a scene from
True Romance.
Yes. And
starring James Gandolfini.
Barry just sort of runs through his lines as blankly as possible, and everyone's just like, "What?" But they love Ryan's performance. It's great stuff. And like,
yeah, he's very generous, as someone says later on.
You can see the wheel start to turn in Bill with Bill Hader's facial expressions the moments the clap starts, where he's like, "Huh?" And I don't know if in that moment Barry understands that they're not really clapping for him or not, but he gets invited out for drinks later, and he's talking a lot with Sally and her friends. Sally's one friend. Yeah,
I can't imagine people more friendly than these people. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is how actors are when you're desperate for, companionship.
Yeah.
Well, considering how miserable getting started as an actor is.
Yeah, it's fair.
You gotta keep those bonds.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's just like this guy with like absolutely zero charisma who's just kind of standing there looming. They're like, "Hey, buddy, let's go hang out. You're our friend now. Let's go."
Well, have you considered he's kind of hot in a geeky way?
Well, no. I mean, Bill Hader is just hot.
Like he's hot like I can't remember his name from The Boys.
Oh, like Jack Quaid?
Yeah, Jack Quaid's character.
I guess that gives him a lot of points because he really is looming there like a serial killer.
Well, even Sally's one friend who she keeps interrupting does say like your performance was interesting. Which and also there's a line that you might have missed, but I thought was very funny that I noticed on this second time through, which is Sally says, "Oh, I didn't realize you were sorry about getting mad at you. I didn't realize you were an actor," which makes it sound like the apology was only because he is trying to be an actor and not for anything else.
Well, now she sees him as a person because he's an actor,
right?
Because he's in the in group, of course.
So they have drinks. He watches Sally dance a bit while he hangs out, and
wheels start turning again.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, can you drive Ryan home real quick? He has like 18 DUIs," and it's immediately just like, "Oh, okay, yeah." He does not kill him right then and there, though. They have a meeting about how, they have a hug in the car after Ryan says that
a dialogue.
He'll help him with his monologue that he has to do for Gene's class.
Meanwhile, across the street.
Yeah, NoHo Hank is like, "They hugged. What are they hugging for?"
He's got the camera too.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets a call the next day from Fuchs telling him that like, "Hey, listen, these Cheechens are the real deal, man. You don't want to mess with them. They said you hugged the guy."
Well, what's it say? Yeah, if I heard that from Fuchs, I would probably just leave town.
Yeah. Oh, also, Ryan tells him that his name should be Barry Block.
Yes.
instead of Barry Berkman. Which is what he announces himself.
You got to
to.
admit he had us in the first half when he talked about how his name was boring. It should change it for Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, Barry Block. Because when he sees him, he thinks of a block.
Because he just stands there and just looks at you.
Yeah, I think he should change his name to like Barry Benoit.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. Yeah, so he ends up being late for the monologue class. What I forget what he's doing actually though. Is he just sitting there watching? He doesn't come in. He doesn't go in. He's just watching them.
He's waiting outside to kill Ryan.
Right, and then
when Ryan leaves, he's like he has his moment and decides to go talk to Mr. Cousineau instead.
Right, and he has this meeting. He has this conversation with. Oh yeah, because before he's having a conversation with Fuchs where he's like, "Listen, I think acting is my thing," and Fuchs gaslights him into continuing to be an assassin.
What?
And
Which is
yeah.
It's sad because he's gaslighting him, but he could just rail upon the valid point of legal liability and exposure.
Right.
But no, he has to keep Barry as his possession.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, what else does Fuchs have going for him?
Nothing.
As far as we can tell, Barry is the only client of note that he has.
He's like 50. He's unmarried, probably never married, as far as we know.
Yeah, he's a family friend of Barry's, evidently.
Well, I thought he was like his uncle.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is.
I guess
uncle,
he's like
yeah.
I don't know if he's really blood related though.
Yeah. And she he has this meeting with Jean where he's like, or he tells Fuchs that like these people think he has something, and so he talks to Jean. He's like, "So do you think I have something?" He's like, "No, you're dog shit." He's like, "You're absolutely awful." And so he gives this.
There was no truth in your performance.
Yeah. So he gives this actual heartfelt monologue. That's, I mean, just him talking from his heart about how
talking about his life up to this point,
pretty much explaining who he is as a person and why he's feeling the way he is.
He came back.
He also straight up says
home fucked up.
He says he went to Afghanistan and he's a killer. He kills for a living. He's just like, oh, what was that from?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Gene assumes it's an improvisation when Barry says
he's
nothing.
Like, what's that from? Is that you're telling me that's an improvisation?
Well, the writing sucks, but we can work with this.
He said that he tells the story is nonsense or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like this,
which has a work of fiction.
Yeah, he says the story's nonsense, but we can work with this. And he tells him to be at his thing, and he's like, you pay a lot of money for my class," something like that. And
pay in advance.
Yeah,
in cash.
Pay advance in cash.
Oh yeah, I think Barry is paying in cash, and that's why he says that.
And he leaves. So he goes to take care of Ryan, and he finds that Ryan has already been shot. And then he looks over at the car. The
Chechens are there.
The Chechen sniper is trying to reload, and he's just saying,
"No, he's just trying to work the bolt on the rifle."
Oh, that's right. And he's just like, "Hey, don't point that gun at me. Don't point that gun at me."
No, he's like, "Okay, Buster."
And then
point that gun at me.
And then he
points a gun at him.
Yeah, he just shoots the 3 people in the car. NoHo Hank
like 5 seconds flat.
Yeah.
Of just mag dump and they're dead. Except for NoHo Hank,
who makes it out. And Barry, although we don't see in this episode that he makes it out, but we know he's alive by the next episode. Barry goes to a diner, and
he throws the gun away while police cars drive in.
Yeah, he's very mad. And he goes to a diner, sits down, asks if they have any whiskey instead of settles for herbal tea, and then the lady's like, "Oh yeah, I'm an actor. I got a part tomorrow." And he's like, "Oh yeah, me too."
As a cop helicopter flies by.
Yeah. Great ending, great first episode, and we watched the second one.
This is like one of the best pilots, I would say.
Yeah,
I mean, it does in 30 minutes.
No wasted moments.
In 30 minutes, it does everything it needs to do.
Honestly, yeah, we need to bring back 30-minute
I
programs.
don't think I've ever seen a show that balances the comedy with the.
Well, the thing is, comedy and tragedy are two sides of the same coin, Keo.
I mean, in a way, this show feels like the perfect sort of version of what we watched last week, Beef. Where
I mean,
it actually does manage to balance out comedy and drama.
Right. The thing is, though, like a lot of stuff that is, kind of funny is like, it's funny, but it's not actually they're making jokes. It's just the situation's like kind of humorous. They actually just have like straight up jokes in this.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. There's just.
And Barry's situation is absurd, but it's also deeply tragic at the same time.
Right.
Well, yeah, the show is funny, and Barry, like, but the jokes are never like, look at how absolutely ridiculous this character is. Like, NoHo Hank is a ridiculous person.
Well,
but he does seem somewhat
makes it
grounded.
work. I'd say he's just a bit of a drama queen.
He makes it work by coming off as a legitimate sociopath.
Yeah. Episode 2, we get introduced to the LAPD detectives who are investigating the murder of Ryan and these mobsters.
Yeah, they're going through the photos.
Yeah.
The one detective, Janet Moss, is like, "Hey, is he crying?" And points to in the photo to Detective Loach, who is just bawling in the corner of this murder scene.
They're like, "Yeah, you didn't hear? Him and his girlfriend broke up." And she was like, "In under a year."
He got divorced after a year.
Oh yeah, he got divorced.
It wasn't even his first marriage.
And she's like she's talking about how she won money in a bet about it.
Yeah.
There's also a later scene, which is perhaps one of my favorites in this episode, where she goes and talks to the tech guys. Or no, I think this is the same one where she's talking about like they find the camera and the guy's like, "Well, I wasn't sure. I thought it was like a weird weed pipe." And the one dude's like, "I thought it was a laser."
Which, to be fair, it is kind of shaped like a laser.
Yeah, or like a weird weed pipe.
Or a sex toy of some kind.
Yeah. They do, but they
For
find...
someone with a small anus, I guess.
Yes, extremely small.
And a love of hard edges, too.
But yeah, they find NoHo Hank's camera, and they try fruitlessly to get stuff off of it, but to no avail. Meanwhile, Barry goes and meets with Fuchs, and Fuchs is like, "Yeah, we need to get out of here, Barry. We need to go." And Barry's like, or I guess it's before this where they have the acting class where they find out that
that's the opening. That's the cold open.
Yeah, because Gene's like, "Everyone, you got to use this emotion." And Barry's like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, we get to see Barry faking shock.
Yes.
Very poorly.
And yeah,
he's got a long road to being a good actor, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Thankfully, everyone is so self-absorbed that they wouldn't even notice that Barry didn't react properly. But yeah, he asked Gene about like, shouldn't we be like wearing like funny hats and stuff and like lightening the mood? And he's like, "No."
No, he says wigs.
Oh yeah, funny wigs. And Gene sends them all home, and he's like, "But you're paying for the full class."
Of course.
And Sally suggests that they have like a sort of wake for Ryan at a bar that she can rent out from her friend.
Residuals. Or wait, no.
Is it? I think it might actually be the same.
No,
bar.
It's not. Maybe.
Which, by the way, that's a great name for a bar. I don't know if it's real. I don't think it is, but it's a great name for a bar.
Yeah, it's funny. They got the little checks, the 3-cent checks on the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, Barry is going to do a scene. Is going to do a scene with her, which we later learn is from the movie
Doubt.
The movie Doubt, which is about a priest molesting children.
And Barry somehow thinks that's a comedy.
Like Family Guy.
Yeah. He thinks it's funny, like how Family Guy is funny.
So, what I take from this is that he does not think Family Guy is funny, but he thinks that it's like theoretically supposed to be funny.
He thinks it's funny in the same way that Family Guy is funny, which is that he's never laughed at it, but he understands that people think it's humor.
And also that Barry does not watch a lot of movies.
Right. Which is
Apparently.
another sign that maybe acting is not the thing he wants to fill the void in his
Or-
heart with.
Maybe.
But yeah, he goes and meets with Fuchs, and Fuchs is like, "Listen, man, these Cheechens, they're coming for us. We need to get out of here. You and me both. We need to leave town." And Barry's like, "Okay, but how about you leave, and I stay here?"
At one point, Fuchs suggests they kill him.
Yeah, and
Based off his experience in Call of Duty.
yeah, he's like, "I've been running through this video game, and I think I got some strategies." Which also suggests that Fuchs is not actually very good at this whole assassin thing.
Well,
That Barry
we
might
see
actually be
later
his
how
only
he handles
client.
a fight.
Yeah, we don't know how he. I mean, we don't know how he actually does in a gunfight either. At least at the moment. But yeah, Barry gets a phone call and has to take it, and this is the standout scene.
He says
for me.
he might have won something, and Fuchs is like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, no questions. This is the standout scene for me.
Oh, we also get the setup for the running gag of Barry lying by going yes, emphatically.
Yeah, and the standout scene for me is just classic. This is just classic comedy, right?
Yes.
Barry's taking the phone call while the Cheechens run in and start beating the shit out of Fuchs. And Fuchs is like screaming for Barry.
He tries to break a bottle and it shatters in his hands.
And I think it ends with he's on the phone still, and you just see them curb stomping him. And it cuts to them. They're in the garage of Goran's house, and understandably, Fuchs is upset.
Oh no,
Barry didn't hear him.
Also, Barry hangs up after they drag Fuchs out and walks in while trying to.
Oh yes.
What was he? You trying to search something?
He was searching
because he didn't know what it meant.
He was searching. I think he was searching what the movie was. So something about priest molest child or something.
No, it's like a turn of phrase, like off the books or something.
Oh yes, he was searching for off book. What off book meant.
Yeah, and then the third Chechen points the gun at him and says, "Freeze, cowboy." So Siri's like, "Off the books, freeze, cowboy."
Yeah, there's also a great scene earlier when Fuchs texts him that says that the Chechens want to klube him, and then he corrects it to kill.
Yeah, there's a running gag in the show of everyone using text to convey their criminal conspiracies.
Oh yeah, because at the end when he gets the contract to kill the guy, he gets the address, and then the message says,
Photo.
"Please delete."
Thanks. From NoHo Hank.
There's just
very good,
some
very
beautiful incompetence in this, like mailing weapons and.
Yeah, it's truly great stuff. But yeah, Fuchs is like, "You didn't hear me yelling," and he's like, "I was taking a call." Gora mentions that, like, thankfully,
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Right. And Gora mentions that, like, thankfully Barry killed their number one assassin. He's like, "Well, he wasn't very good."
Anyways, he needed that assassin to kill another guy.
Yeah.
One of the Bolivians.
And now Barry has to take the job, and Barry's like, "Oh, I'm sorry,
But Barry doesn't want to.
I'm not doing that anymore." And so they threaten to file Fuchs' teeth, and he's like, "I'm not doing it."
No, they do file his teeth.
No, first they threaten, and he's like, "No," and then they just do it, and he's...
And then the wife comes in.
Right.
Complains.
Or a different... maybe it's
during...
his mom, because it does not look like the lady from the video.
Yes, you're right. Which Swanson did, of course, watch multiple times.
Of course, yeah, rewound. Mr. Skinned it. But yeah, he's like, "All right, we're just gonna slit his throat if you don't do this." And he's like, "All right, fine." And Barry's like, "Listen, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna kill you all if you do anything." And NoHo Hank is like,
also he says yes.
Yes.
Again.
He's like, "Are you gonna do this right away? You're gonna do this right away, right?" And he's like, "Yes." and immediately cuts to him at the wake. And yeah, so we get a sort of montage of all of these actors doing various things. My favorite being, of course, the rap tribute.
I like the mime. What is that even supposed to... What is the relevance?
I love it because when he's done, Gene gets up and he's just like, thank you for that. And Gene brings up Ryan's dad, who is inconsolable, understandably. And Barry can't handle that. This is, he pretty much plainly says it, that this is the first time he's encountered the ramifications of his own actions.
Hopefully you'll learn and grow from this.
Sure,
Yes, starting now.
Starting now.
But yeah, he goes outside and he's like, I don't know if I can do this. And she's like, no, you got to use this. That's the acting. You just got to use that for acting. And he's like, okay. They don't end up performing their scene from Doubt, unfortunately. And everyone pays tribute to Ryan, and Barry and Sally go to her house. Great scene here where Barry and her are talking, and then she's like, listen, we shouldn't do this. I shouldn't invite you in, and we shouldn't have sex. And he's like, oh, I wasn't thinking about that at all.
Didn't even cross my mind.
I was just walking you to the door. And she's like, oh, so you don't want to come in and talk about why we shouldn't? And he's like, no. And he leaves. She mentions that, I guess she hints at why she's continues to talk to Barry despite his almost crippling lack of any sort of redeeming quality in terms of social wise.
Okay.
Like, he's given her nothing in terms of who he is as a person, other than the one heart-to-heart they just had.
Well, at least he's not racist.
True. I mean, that's true. Yeah, she essentially says here that she's intrigued by Barry because she can't figure out what he's about.
Women love mystery.
Yeah, I guess so. Especially if that mystery hides, like, sociopathic tendencies.
If the mystery involves you possibly being left in a dumpster.
Yes. But yeah, he rushes off to go do the murder deal. And we see a Chechen taking photos.
A Chechen?
No, that's how you told me not to say it.
Oh, you said it like 8 times.
A Chechen taking photos of Sally, and that's the end of the episode.
I can't believe it. He's dating a nun.
Incredible stuff. But yeah, it's great. Great show. I mean, what more can we say about it?
I love these reactions of the guys who are watching Barry, and they're just always shocked at what he's doing.
well,
yeah, he gets up to some stuff.
He's got like an aura of hijinks around him.
It's true.
So yeah, greatest of all time.
What a great warrior Barry is.
Yeah, too bad he's on the side of evil. Well, wait, no, I've just heard he's good again.
Starting now.
Starting now. Yeah, great show. I mean, tune in.
10 out of 10. You gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
It's one of the greatest of all time.
The kid's only seen 4 episodes.
Greatest of all time.
Imagine what he'll do next.
Probably watch the whole series tonight.
Oh,
I better go on crazy adventures.
Buddy, let me tell you. This is not a binge show.
This is absolutely a binge show.
Wow, if you take a break between seasons.
You're going to binge it. You probably shouldn't, but you are going to binge it, is what I'm saying.
Hearing 2 opposite messages here.
I'm just saying that you've got to prepare yourself for devastation.
Remember Better Call Saul, that final season?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna... Yeah.
After I finished watching the last episode, I was done thinking about the show for a while.
Okay, bye.
Out of mental well-being?
I was just, fully satiated.
I still have dreams about Better Call Saul. How the next season's going to be coming anytime soon.
Oh, no.
In the next season of Better Call Saul. It's the greatest show on television.
Jimmy, I'm breaking you out.
Jimmy, I've hired this guy to break you out. His name is Barry.
Hi, I heard you're a lawyer.
I don't want to.
Oh, hey, you're the guy. You're the guy from that court case.
I don't want to leave jail.
Oh, you're repenting in prison, yeah.
Very cool, very cool.
German Hank. You're on that John Wick shit, huh? Start of the movie.
Now, come on, we're going to get you out of here.
Hope nothing happens to your dog. Just kidding, they don't have dogs in prison. Okay.
What was his fake dog's name?
Oh,
I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what the name was.
Heisenberg. It was Chippy.
Chippy?
No,
Okay.
Nippy.
Yeah, because it wasn't it was
Nippy?
Nippy.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
Nippy.
Yeah.
They named the whole episode after
Nippy
it.
and Tucky. That's why I was struggling.
God, that last season.
The neurons almost bridged.
That last season, man.
Yeah. Well, but anyway, just consider that as a reason for why you shouldn't go through every episode of Barry tonight.
You should.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You have to go to
I
sleep.
don't know if I'm physically capable of watching all of it. How many episodes is that?
I don't know.
Like
I'm not a
30
nerd.
something.
Yeah, so it'd be a little tricky to finish that in a single night.
I once binged all Breaking Bad season 4 in the span of 24 hours.
How did that go?
Yeah, it was pretty keno.
Dude.
I was like, damn, I really appreciate this compared to when I watched it as it aired.
Do you remember what happened?
Yes, in the show.
Yeah, were you like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
it went
happened.
ding, ding, ding.
That's a great description of what happened.
Anyways, that's a tune in on Breaking Bad season 4.
Yeah,
Tune in
that's a
on,
tune in on Barry.
Honestly, the peak of the show.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, in terms of like Walter White's.
Like as a whole package, I mean.
Yeah,
Season 4 is the best.
Probably. Season 5. I mean, season 5 is very good.
Yeah, it's got its moment. Yeah, of course. It's just not as good.
Yeah.
It's not as big a drop off as like season 5 of The Wire. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, well, we've done what we came here to do. And listen, if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, what if they watched a show I wanted them to watch? Well,
What?
we could do that.
Like Macross Plus.
Sure. All you gotta do is go over to buymeacoffee.com/TVtuners. A single coffee will give you a single episode for us to watch anything you desire. That's buymeacoffee.com/TVtuners. As for next episode, well, we're going to finally get to the bottom of what AI is all about with the mysterious Peacock show, Mrs. Davis. So until next week, when we're dealing with whatever that's all about, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Oh yeah, it's the end of the episode.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster is a sexually harassing Hollywood agent?
No. Bad.
My opinion remains, you ignorant fool.